Hello, one and all, and welcome back to yet another movie review. And this time I shall be accepting a mission this time around, and that is bringing my review on the newest Mission Impossible film, and that is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, which is, of course, as I said, the seventh film in the quite possibly the greatest film series of all time, if you ask me. Yeah, I said it. It's the seventh film in this series, and it's the third film directed by Christopher McQuarrie. Like, he really gets this series. He understands Mission Impossible. He understands why Tom Cruise wanted the series to be different, all the films to be different, and yet Christopher McQuarrie truly understands it. And I am a massive fan of the Mission Impossible series. I think it's my favorite film series of all time, even after seeing Fallout. That first film I've come to appreciate a lot more, because whether a movie has suspense or action for the Mission Impossible series, I don't care. I've come to love that film more. And Mission Impossible 2 isn't necessarily a bad movie, but it's a bad Mission Impossible movie because it doesn't feel like a Mission Impossible movie. But that's really the only weak point of the series. Mission Impossible 3 then comes in. You know, it was J.J. Abrams' directorial debut. He really invigorated the franchise to an extent, the way it should be. And then, of course, we get Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, a phenomenal film, which had probably the most dangerous stunt work up to this point. The huge building. Then, of course, you have Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, the first film directed by Christopher McQuarrie, where he was sort of combining the previous four Mission Impossible films into one. And it was a good time. Mission Impossible Fallout is still my favorite film in the series because it is everything you would want in an action movie. It is, to me, the best action film of the 2000s decade. Yes, over Mad Max Fury Road, I've said it, because that film has a story. It has a plane diving. It has a bathroom fight. Has a motorbike scene, has a running chase, of course, because that's Mission Impossible for you, and Tom Cruise. And, of course, the big helicopter scene. And I just thought, this is going to be a new record for action movies. And no, Top Gun Maverick isn't as much of an action movie. It's more of a coming-of-age adventure movie, helping Maverick, helping these younger pilots. That being said, though, Dead Reckoning Part 1 is absolutely excellent. This is probably my second favourite film in the series, behind Fallout, because these films just keep getting better and better and better. Well, bigger, should I say the least. That's probably the better word to put it. Tom Cruise, we all know Tom Cruise. You know, he is in his 60s now, and he's still doing crazy stuff after crazy stuff, after stunt after stunt after stunt. This man is still getting it. You know, we've had the building scene in Ghost Protocol, the plane in Rogue Nation, the helicopter in Fallout, and we have the huge motorbike mountain in Dead Reckoning Part 1, which is probably the biggest stunt work now, to say the least. And of course, you have the other IMF characters, such as Simon Pegg as Benji. He's great and funny, to say the least. Then Ree Raines as Luther. We all like him. He's a great character. Love him. And then probably my favourite character in the series, Ezra Frost, I believe that's how you say her name, played by Rebecca Ferguson, who, to say the least, is probably the most badass character in the whole series. say the least. Rogue Nation, I think, is probably her best performance, along with Fallout being second, but she's great in here none of the less. And you get a ton of new comers, especially Hayley Atwell, who was absolutely phenomenal. She killed it in this film as Grace. You know, she had so much connection with Ethan Hunt in the movie, and to an extent, they just go along throughout the movie, not of course spoiling anything. And then we of course do have Pom Klementieff, who we all know as Mantis in the MCU. She was also fantastic here. You know, a pretty good side villain as well. Unfortunately, though, what the Mission Impossible series has been struggling throughout with every movie in the series is having a compelling villain. Philip Seymour Hoffman and Henry Cavill are by far the two best villains from Mission Impossible 3 and Mission Impossible Fallout. With Dead Reckoning Part 1, he's a fine villain. I mean, he's better than the Ghost Protocol villain, I would say. Because the Ghost Protocol villain, surprisingly, is the worst villain. Along with the second movie. Sean Harris, I believe, from the fifth film in Fallout, Rogue Nation, is pretty good. But I think compared to Philip Seymour Hoffman and Henry Cavill, I just don't think the villains can get better than that. So overall, the villain in this film, Dead Reckoning, it's not incredible. But I think maybe with part 2, it will enhance the character to an extent. And of course, the other female character, Vanessa Kirby, who was also in Mission Impossible Fallout, who first appeared in that film. She's not in the film as much, just like with Fallout, unfortunately. But whenever she's on screen, it is really good seeing her nonetheless. And just like with the cost of living, this movie, unfortunately, is the longest Mission Impossible film. You know, it is 2 hours and 43 minutes long. And as soon as you get invested, it doesn't feel like it. It just flies by. And there are some aspects of the movie, not spoiling anything, that might bug some people, might not please some people. I'm not, of course, getting into spoilers, but I think for the most part, people are just going to love this, just like I did. So, overall, guys, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, the series just, it's crazy that it is just continuing to have good movies and just continuing to have great characters, great action, you know, great filmmaking. There's no CGI, there's practical effects. Alright? It is the reason why you go to movies, because of your man Tom Cruise. You know, there are potentially better Tom Cruise films out there in my mind, like Mission Impossible Fallout, which is still my favourite film in the series. Looking outside the series, Top Gun Maverick, Collateral, and other stuff, possibly. But Dead Reckoning Part 1 is either my third or second favourite in the series. I don't know where I'd rank all the films, because it is quite hard, to say the least. I mean, I know the sixth is my favourite, and the second film's my least favourite. But there you go, guys. That was my review on Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. So, comment down below. Let me know below what you guys think of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Let me know below in the comments. And where does it rank amongst the Mission Impossible films in your mind? Let me know below in the comments. Let's have a great discussion down there. And as always, if you're new to my channel, I'm a movie reviewer from the UK. Likes to do movie reviews and, you know, classics on special occasions. And as always, again, if you're new, please feel free to comment, like, subscribe, share this video, and notify that bell before you leave. And as always, until my next video, I shall see you then, and peace.